The Lord of the Rings movies open with a brilliant prologue in which we meet the three peoples of Middle-earth, see them battle against Sauron, and then see the titular Dark Lord undone by losing the One Ring. It's everything a prologue should be, setting up the world and promising the adventure to come. But the movie prologue doesn't appear in the books. It was entirely a creation of Peter Jackson and his team. There is a prologue in the Lord of the Rings novels, but it isn't part of the main story. It's more of a framing narrative, providing background to the world. The first real prose we get opens on hobbits and the Shire. There is something else though, something which comes before all of that, something which does the same job as Peter Jackson's prologue, and arguably even better. Not in prose, but poetic form. The ring verse. Three rings for elven kings under the sky, 7 for the dwarf lords in their halls of stone, 9 for mortal men doomed to die, 1 for the Dark Lord on his dark throne in the land of Mordor where the shadows lie. 1 ring to rule them all, 1 ring to find them, 1 ring to bring them all, and in the darkness bind them, in the land of Mordor where the shadows lie. When I was 10 years old, I was really behind in school and struggled with reading. Then a friend introduced me to a book he was reading with his dad. It was The Lord of the Rings. With some difficulty, I read the ring poem and I fell in love with it. I asked for my own copies of The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings straight away, and 12 weeks later I had finished both of them. 8 years after that, I started work on my own first novel. Reading The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings literally changed my life in a really positive way, and it all started with the ring verse. But what makes it so great? Well, in less than a page, it does everything a great prologue should. It sets up the main conceit of the novel, the all-important ring. It introduces the antagonistic force, Sauron. It builds the world, naming several of the key factions of Middle-earth. It introduces some of Tolkien's key themes, resisting tyranny and the fear of mortality. And, despite being written in verse, it's a really honest reflection of Tolkien's style and voice, steeped in the traditions of Anglo-Saxon Britain. On top of that, the literary devices Tolkien uses make the ring verse really catchy and memorable. Rhyming at the end of some sentences, epistrophe and anaphora, the repetition of words in others. Additional punctuation towards the end of the verse, which to me gives the effect of a faster tempo. All of these techniques can be used in prose, and you should try using them in yours, but they need to be more subtle compared to what Tolkien can do uniquely with verse. As I said earlier, my personal experience of Tolkien changed my life. That's what great writing and great stories can do. That's why the mission of this channel is to help writers understand the tools and techniques legends like Tolkien use, and how to use them too. If that sounds good to you, please hit like and subscribe, and in the comments let me know any books or great first pages you'd like me to cover next. See you next time, and keep writing.